Hello.
Hi.
Start these. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about meditation and addictions counseling. Anybody feel called to start? Thoughts, feelings?
Hmm.
Well, my first thought was like when reading the chapter about like the four things we focus on, like social skills and emotional regulation, job finding, and self-control. And in relation to meditation, I was like, oh, emotional regulation and self-control, right? Because in the moment, I think it's hard to regulate one's emotions if you go from 0 to 100. And
Hmm.
so if you have like a consistent meditation mindfulness practice that could help already tip the scale a little bit away from like being aggressive, and just being more assertive. Um, yeah, that was my first initial thought because I could just imagine. I mean, for anybody, it's hard to really.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah. You just like
Sorry,
pop.
sorry, guys. Um, to fine tune those communication skills, and not be passive and not be aggressive, but just being assertive in a respectful way. It's hard for anybody, but especially I think for people maybe who are dealing with withdrawal or just learning these skills initially.
Hmm.
I agree. I think I also noticed how they mentioned with like for substance use disorders specifically, a lot of times it's like a means to not feel things, and meditation kind of is like a practice to make you feel things, like be present. So I feel like, especially for people that might be medication resistant for whatever reason, that could be like a alternative is just practicing like the here and now and increasing the capacity to be present. So that's like one, I guess, situation where it would be useful.
Yeah. Hmm. That makes me think about actually, I think it was in her lecture. She was saying you can overdo it with meditation. It can almost like the pendulum can swing too far in the other direction to make you numb out. And I've actually seen that with clients. Like I have one client who has a lot of chronic health issues and is kind of dissociates a lot and seems to be almost in a freeze state. And usually, what I would recommend for that is like some nervous system regulation, like this kind of stuff, like self-regulation. But she already meditates literally 2 hours a day. Hmm. And that I thought of that client when I was listening to the lecture because I was like, oh my gosh, this client is such a prime example of someone who like needs to regulate to like needs her nervous system to be regulated, but almost needs it just needs to be upregulated, and meditation actually isn't helpful. So I really
Mhm.
appreciated that that was brought in because I feel like that's something I've never heard a professor or someone like in the field say that meditation can be overdone or can be not helpful to someone who's already really numbed out or dissociated or in a freeze response.
Yeah, that makes me think about there's so many different kinds of meditations and like I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, you do like a certain lineage of meditation, you like truly dissociate and you like go into like your brain waves. I don't know, it's really restful, but you're not in your body. But when I was reading, I was like, even if it's like I'm making a card right now for someone's birthday, and I got into a flow state just like creating, like art or whether, movement, walking meditation, like a walk and talk, or there's so many different forms of it. And I think that that could be really helpful for anyone, and especially with, yeah, people newer to being with themselves or being in their body, not using substances.
Hmm.
I feel like, yeah, there's lots of different ways we could introduce that that's less like, okay, you have to sit in silence because that's like also can be harmful,
Hmm.
depending on,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that like
you know, I was mostly thinking about like, people's different like neurotypes. Like not everyone, it's not helpful, yeah, to just sit and be in their bodies and in their minds, for hours
Mm.
or whatever. I think like you were saying, just like introducing other ways of, being with themselves. And like if meditation is a, you know, longer term goal that they want or that you think would be good for them, I think um that's great, but like not jumping there and like starting off with like little ways of mindfulness and presence.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I feel like it really is like up to us to like notice if in our client like it would be safe to offer meditation, you know?
Hmm.
Obviously it can be like an open dialogue and be like, how do you feel about that? But I feel like, I can tell when someone like when that would just be too much for someone. Um, but yeah, like bringing in other ways that just feel like softer, a softer landing because they've
Hmm.
just spent so long like not being in their bodies, It's like a foreign, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was thinking of it like when people are activated, maybe like emotionally dysregulated, doing like a quick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because
Mhm.
you're probably safe. It's like being in fantasy, like predicting future, forecasting, like
Hmm.
what's going to happen, or in the past, reliving the past.
Mhm.
So just like something more tangible like that, um, together with like a breathing exercise, very specific counting, like inhale for 4, exhale for 8, just to
Mhm.
bring like remind them that in the present you're safe. And it's also like a 12-step program thing of like living in the now, not in the past, not in the future. So kind of using it like a quick tool to regulate, I think might be useful.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that it's like an intervention. Like there, I feel like there's certain ones, like you're mentioning these Venus, like the breathing and the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, helpful for the intervention, and then pairing that with um introducing like something really short and manageable to do daily to build the skills when they're not activated,
Mhm.
which like I've tried to introduce meditation to a lot of clients. So I like reading this comment. It's like, how would you introduce meditation to clients? And I mean the question. And I'm like, well, I've tried to do it and I don't know if it's ever worked. So maybe the way I'm doing it isn't the best approach, but I always am just like, try to do it every day, but start with like a minute or like 5 minutes max. Because if you try to introduce something and be like, you have to be a pro right away, then people are just gonna burn out and not do it. It's like too much to ask. But I'm curious if anyone has other ideas because I don't know that I've successfully gotten any of my clients to meditate who I've suggested
Mhm.
it to.
My therapist has tried that with me in the past, and I have such like, I'm so like, I have like such crazy ADHD that I have such a hard time like getting and like calming down and meditating in any way. And the
Mhm.
first time he did it, he was like, "Oh, try for like 10 minutes, like just like try to like stay calm and like don't do anything else." And I like didn't do it for like a month. Like there's no way I'm sitting for 10 minutes.
10
Like
minutes is too long.
thank you. I was like, you're that's funny. And then like I told him that, but then I think I like went down on my own to like a minute, 2 minutes, and like kind of just when it was like when I wasn't like activated, like you mentioned, and then when I was, it was more manageable because I'd done it before. It didn't last that long, unfortunately, because I did not stick to it very well, but it was helpful when I did it. But yeah, I think like there's a difference between mindfulness and like actively like meditating. And I think like allowing yourself to be present and like mindful versus trying to like, I don't know, fully meditate can be kind of intimidating for
Hmm.
people. So that was another thing that I was kind of thinking about.
Yeah, I was thinking about like assisted guided meditations, like there's tapping, there's like a tapping app that my therapist gave me years ago and I still use it. Not as much anymore, but in the past I was really into it. And it has like it guides you through where you should tap and what you should think about, like
Mhm.
questions. So that was more active, engaging, and just more, I think just more attractive to me. Uh and then I found like just my favorite. YouTube channel, the mindfulness movement, and she's really amazing. She's got so many videos. But I mean, it's like I'll just listen to it, not end up sometimes falling asleep. And you can choose like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you're available to do. And you can just lay down and close your eyes, and it's like a guided meditation.
Mhm.
So there's, different ways to do it. Or like a mantra, if you find something, create one with your client, or your client find one that they like. And if they're going for a walk, focusing for whatever, however many minutes they want to, or count, like I'm going to commit to saying this mantra 100 times, and then you can like count it off on your fingers or something.
Mhm.
Those are like more tangible, active ways, I think, as well. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like everything that you all are saying, it's just noticing. It's like it's presencing on with something or
Mhm.
someone, whether it's guided or whether it's, yeah, like even like doing the dishes. It's like my philosophy is that like life is a meditation, and that has helped me because there's barriers to it. Like for a while I was like, oh, I'm doing it wrong, and it's like you actually can't do it wrong. But I think I had to like learn that by just having my own, I don't know, just trying it and just like feeling that clunkiness. But it is hard. Yeah, I can see how it might be hard to introduce it because there's so many different ways we can go with it, and there's so many different kinds of people, and like what might feel supportive to someone um, varies and differs. But
Mhm.
Yeah, for that reason, I appreciated how many options were mentioned in the lecture of like versions of meditation, like the mandalas, mantra meditation. It's making me think for my client something more active, the one who's in a free state. One of those options, like doing a mantra, would be good because it's actually more activating and not just like dissociating.
Yeah, I was thinking what Venus was saying is a good idea because it's like a lot to ask someone to just be like, okay, go meditate, be quiet, like they're like, what do I do? Like, what does meditating even mean? Like, I feel like people have such like grandiose ideas of it, and it can really be anything you need it to be, like doing the dishes, like,
yeah,
um, but like I think engaging is the key word that you were saying, like something that's engaging so that, the client can feel like, not alone, but like a part of something and
like
feel not like
anchor.
they're dropped. Yeah, but like
Mm.
anchor, like held as
Mhm.
they're doing it.
Yeah, I think we're at time for this. If we could talk about our quit project, or we could end it, whatever you all feel.
I'm
Um,
we ended.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
content.
cool.
Good.